Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sport. For today's preview, as the Griquas host the Pumas in the Griquas' first home game of the Currie Cup season. Round 3 on a Wednesday sees Griquas taking on the Pumas before the Bulls host the Cheetahs, and finally the Western Province will be at the Shark Tank just days after the Sharks drew to the Stormers over the weekend in the United Rugby Championship. But on Wednesday, all eyes turned back to the Currie Cup, and a lot of players returning from injury across all the different fixtures. So it's actually becoming quite an exciting day of rugby, and it'll kickstart in Kimberley, where the Pumas, who've looked pretty good actually this season, and I think that they're a side that are always quite exciting. They don't always necessarily get the results, but they'll push teams because they like to play, they like to throw the ball around. They like to actually take the initiative and really go after teams. And the Griquas are a side which you don't want to play at home. Whenever you play a Griquas side in Kimberley, you're in for a long 80 minutes. You're going to have to fight for every single point. It's often a very tough place, often a very dry field. It's probably a little better now in the summer, but it's characteristic. It's probably one of the worst places to play rugby because of the sort of the physicality of the in terms of not necessarily the best field, as well as a side which are sort of equally, almost sort of complement the field in terms of being very tough to break down. Before we look at the two sides, please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. We'll start with the home side, which are the Griquas, who are pretty much unchanged in the pack from their last game. So in the front row, Eddie Davids, Ilandro van Rooyen, and Jona Botha will continue to try and foster a very good front row combination. Behind them, they will have the support of Zonele Zito and Derek Pretorius, and then it's a pretty nice loose trio of Neil Otto, Siba Goma, and Ruan Steenkamp. Ruan Steenkamp, very much a captain that leads by example. He works tirelessly from the first minute to the last minute. Played a lot of rugby for the Bulls before making the move over to Griquas, and he demands his players to work hard. And he sets the tone very early. If it's at ruck time or tackling or carrying the ball, you'll always see Ruan Steenkamp very close to the action. The Griquas, however, have lost a few players to injury, including scrum half Stefan Angura, who's arguably the best player in the side, as well as Ashlon Davids at full back. As a result, Regan Oranje will get an opportunity to run out next to Theo Boshoff, who starts at flower half. Luther Ovig will continue his sort of transition from the Pumas and Griquas against his former side in the number 11 jersey. The centre pairing will be Xander du Plessis and Christopher Hollis, and then Munir Hartzenberg and Renat Jonker will complete the side. Renat Jonker starting at full back. Playing a lot of rugby at the Sharks and now on loan at the Griquas and hoping to try and sort of make a bit of an impact. Off the bench, Janko Ace, Kutuwa Dube and Justin Forward will cover the front row. Then you've got Jahan Retief and Henry Sergil. And then the rest of the bench will be Michael Amiris, Johan Mulder, and Sangor Kamlashe. So you look at this Griquas side, and it's a very new Griquas side. I think, if you look at the beginning of the season, so many of these players were making their Currie Cup debuts, were making their Griquas debuts. It's a very much a new look Griquas side. But I think there are quite a lot of positives in what we've seen so far from the Griquas themselves in the opening rounds. They went down to the Sharks by just 1 point. They scored 20 points against the Cheetahs in Bloemfontein. So they have looked pretty decent. However, they are playing against a Puma side which absolutely annihilated the Lions in the first round and actually held their own against the Bulls. And this is the Puma side they will be facing. So in the front row, Ruan Kramer, Corne Fourie, and Ichia Prinsloo. I think the biggest thing is make sure Corne Fourie remains at hooker, because I think he's a very good player for the Pumas, has a lot of experience, but really struggles when he does play on the lock. And I think when he's at hooker, it's just a far more balanced front row. In the second row, Malemba and Porfer and Darren Landsberg will add a little bit of extra bulk. And then it's a loose trio of Daniel Martins. Pumzile Makondwana will captain the side in the number 7 jumper, and Kwanda Demaza completes the loose trio. It's very much a live wire scrum half in the likes of Lucky Lepo. Jeff van Snyman has dropped down to the bench, and Lepo will partner Tennis de Beer, although you've also got the experience of Eddie Fouchier coming off. And then if you look at the rest of the backline, Jade Stecheling and Tapio Mafua are the two wings, plenty of speed and very good finishers, but also quite physical players. They enjoy the defensive work. They enjoy having to put in the tackles if they need to. Ali Ngajima, the inside centre, is a very nice operator, very solid, got a nice skill set, and he's got Sebastian de Klerk outside him, and then the very exciting counter-attacking Devin Williams at full back. Off the bench, from the men from Imbombela, Llewellyn Claassen, Duval Maritz, and Simon Raw will cover in the front row. Then Brandon Valentine brings quite a lot of size to the field, Kwesi Mafu, then you've got Jevan Snyman, Eddie Fouchier, and Alana Vasahi, who will cover the rest of the bench. Eddie Fouchier, somebody people were even talking about a Springbok call-up last year because he was playing so well for this Puma side. And if you look at their results, they beat the Lions 50 points to 9 in Johannesburg in their last fixture. In their first fixture, they went down to the Bulls 19 points to 33. However, it was a very, very strong Bulls side. So I think this Pumas side could be sneaking into the semi-finals if they were to sort of pitch up for the bulk of the competition. I definitely think they're going to get ahead of the Lions. I think they could probably get ahead of the Cheetahs as well. And I reckon that they're looking very good to potentially go to semi-finals. And once you get to playoff rugby, anything can happen. So I wouldn't write them off for actual cup. But how cool would it be to see a team like the Pumas go on and lift that famous trophy? Let me know what you think about the side down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon.